Thanks for being here, Siddharth. Lovely having you. I would like to start with if you can throw some light on the Everest fleet and take us through your journey of the brand. That would be great.
Sure. So we started Everest Fleet almost 7 years ago. The idea to start was, there was a lot of inefficiencies in the aggregator fleet ecosystem. So typically, when I say aggregator, I refer to companies like Ola and Uber, the people driving a taxi on their platforms. Generally, the inefficiencies were one driver, one car. If the driver goes to his village, or the car is under repair, or if a driver falls ill. So typically the utilization was below 40%. That time we started off with 2 cars with the thought that can we take this 40% to 80%, which means our cars will run for double shift. It will run 24 hours, 365 days. We'll have backup drivers. We have a tech algorithm to map a driver to a car continuously and so on. And we started with 2 cars. 2 cars, we successfully demonstrated that, and then added more cars over a period of time. So in short, we were trying to address the inefficiencies, which could have been in terms of the number of hours the asset is utilized, or the cost. Because of economies of scale, our costs were significantly lower. So with this, we started off and we ran a very, very highly efficient business till the time COVID came in. COVID came and we, as every business, we were badly hit. But the beauty that happened was, the city of Mumbai was run by Everest Fleet during COVID, and BST buses, 2 agencies. We got all our cars, all our drivers out on the road, and with the objective was to run the city, not to make money or to lose money. That was not but if someone can pay, make him pay. If someone cannot pay, but the rider should reach his destination. And we were one of the only fleet companies in probably the country which came out profitable after COVID. The biggest thing that happened was we became a brand in the minds of our customers, and our customers are drivers. So we became a brand. The goodwill that spread because we took care of them. We gave them medical facilities, we gave them house to stay, we gave them food to eat, we gave them work to do during COVID. And so we became a brand. And because of that, after COVID, we continuously had influx of drivers waiting, thousands of drivers waiting for cars from our company. And that is where our turning point happened, where we started significantly growing. So pre-COVID, we had around 800 cars, and post-COVID, now today, fast forward today, we are at around 12,000 odd cars in 7 cities in India. Our model is now primarily not a fully double shift model, because post-COVID, the demand has not recovered in most of the cities till what it was pre-COVID. But in a single shift or a 1.2 shift model also, we are running the fleet as efficiently as we were earlier. Our costs are the lowest, both the cost of purchase, cost of repair and maintenance, cost of insurance, everything is the lowest in the industry. And yes, we really enjoy what we do.
Amazing. That was an amazing story, especially the COVID piece. So as a follow-up question, I would like to ask, how do you leverage technology and data? I'll push data as well in there at Everest to drive operations, drive efficiency, provide value to the customers, driver partners, and for yourselves. So how do you guys leverage technology and data to optimize operations and efficiencies?
So it's difficult to manage a couple of drivers at our homes, 1 or 2 or 3, whatever it might be. Just imagine we are managing more than 13,000 drivers. So the entire company is driven through tech. While we are a tech-enabled company, so we take a lot of data inputs from various sources. Our aggregator partner, Uber, being one of the data sources. We get a lot of data from the GPS fit in our cars. We get a lot of data from the ground that are drivers. Using all this data and using our tech, so the value add that we do we give them real-time insights on how to improve efficiency. We give them real-time training. We monitor them very closely that they are not misusing the assets, or not going again. And for our partners, they don't have to come to our office. We don't want them to come to our office. All their issues, all their queries, all that should be resolved offline. Just to give you an example, the taxi industry is dominated by cash. More than 80% of our payments is collected by the drivers in cash. And 97% of the payment that drivers do to us is using online sources, which is, it could be GPay, it could be Paytm, whatever they are comfortable with using UPI. So our drivers, we have trained them over a period of time. We have made them that we use a lot of technology to drive this company. So that is on the one part for the driver customers. The same thing for us. When we have our entire team, we have our own dashboards, our own business intelligence, this which continuously using that, we continuously try to enhance the earnings of the driver, and enhances utilization and performance. Third, what we are doing is we are developing bots. Which are already under pilot phase in various cities for engagement with drivers, and improving their efficiencies again. Fourth, our recruitment team is now moving towards an AI engine where the driver will not come to know whether it's a human, an actual human talking to him, or a computer talking to him. So we are doing a lot of work in tech. These are some of the examples that I gave you. There are tons of projects going on in our company for our tech. We have our own driver-facing app for the driver use, and so that's
Great. And so I just wanted you to throw some light on how the taxi aggregating business has evolved over last few years. We know where we were like 10 years back and now where we are. There were a lot of players initially. We eventually moved into a duopoly. Now few more players have come in. Some of the driver unions, like in Bangalore, Namma Yatri app has been developed by the drivers themselves. So it's evolving. So if you could throw some light on how the industry has evolved, what gaps do you see in the industry, and what are the typical challenges that the industry faces right now with all the regulations coming in?
Sure. So one, the market is primarily dominated by the two major players. The smaller players in small pockets and small cities keep propping up, which is good. It's healthy competition it keeps the major players also in check and balances. Few things so the market is ever growing. Today, in all the cities, we have a huge demand supply gap, where I can bet in the city that you're sitting in, or the city that whenever you book a taxi, especially during peak times, and even normally, it's difficult to find a Ola or a Uber. You don't get it immediately. So there's a lot of demand, and the supply is not adequate to meet that demand. That is where people like us fill in the gap. So on the government side, the current government has been extremely supportive of aggregators, e-commerce players, etc. And the aggregator draft guidelines were also very positive, supporting the aggregators. On the aggregators' way of operating, so both Ola, Uber, they used to first try to have maximum individual drivers who own cars in the ecosystem. What they realized is that these people, whenever there's a force majeure or whenever there's a bad event, these people don't have the ability to survive those. They started with their own fleets, both the companies, which they realized that it's difficult for them to manage the entire. So then they started incubating partners like us, fleet operators, where we fill the gap between a individual driver and these aggregators. And this model towards shifting into a fleet supply is now something that both the aggregators are doing actively, and we see that a significant percentage of their fleet over the next few years might be contributed by players like us, many players like us. So this entire ecosystem has been evolving and going through various changes, and the other players which are cropping up, some of them are relatively small and new, and next few years we'll come to know how it pans out.
Okay, awesome. Okay, now switching gears a little, in terms of fundraising, Indian EV startups, now we are talking about electric vehicles, are among the top 5 in the world, after countries like US and China. And I just wanted to get your opinion. Do you think we are prepared for a mass adoption of EVs, given the charging infra and the other infra that we have available, the kind of batteries, the Indian environment and all that? And what kind of development do you believe is setting forth in taxi aggregating industry as far as the EV adoption is concerned? Obviously, the likes of Blue Smart. Yeah.
So definitely EVs is the way forward. I mean, in the next, say, decade or so, we might see a significant portion or 100% of the cars probably being EVs, at least the new cars which come on the road. And so it is the way forward. It makes complete sense. The cost of running is lower, the cost of maintenance is lower, it is environment friendly, and everything. So about the benefits of EVs. So the government is significantly pushing it, and with in all walks. We Yes, today the infrastructure is not adequate to meet the EV push that is there. So that is where players like us or create our own infra to manage. Of course, the technology is also evolving. That the cars which at a certain cost, their costs are coming down. The range of the car is going up. The life of the batteries might increase. So it's a continuous. We have seen this in solar in the past decade, how it evolves and dramatically. That is also happening with EVs. As an infra, today we are not geared up, but both the aggregators and the new companies that you mentioned have a strong push to go into EV only fleets over a period of time, and partners like us are helping them to get that to make it into a reality. And we see EVs as the way forward in the next couple of years or the next few years. I think most of the new cars on these aggregators might be EV only, provided the charging infra is taken care of.
Awesome. Siddharth, and just one curious question is around how do you see it evolving beyond the top 20 cities? Do you think there will be a significant demand from tier 2 and tier 3 towns of India? Have you guys ever experimented in tier 2, tier 3 towns? And do you think going beyond the four-wheelers, getting into the three-wheeler space or even a two-wheeler space is something you guys have somewhere in the horizon, just to cater to the Bharat and not really to the India?
Definitely. So tier 2 cities. So our next wave of growth. Geographical expansion is going to be in tier 2 cities. Few of them have been shortlisted. We are piloting. We are running some pilots there. Definitely, four-wheelers is not the only product into the logistics. As you said, three-wheelers, two-wheelers. So we are also working aggressively towards EV two-wheelers. Into our existing cities and into newer cities. Bharat, as you rightly said, is a huge market. Huge market. We want to focus on India and move faster into getting into the top 15 cities of India, at least in the immediate future, from the current 7 cities that we are operating.
Got it. Okay. So lastly, to wrap things up, we would like to talk about the association between Vivriti Capital and Everest. How has the association been? If you could throw some light on that, great.
The association has been extremely good. Vivriti has been a lending partner to us, and not only lending, they also help us into other things wherever we reach out to them, and extremely helpful. And what I was very impressed with y'all, if I may say, or Vivriti, is the exhaustive due diligence that you all did before getting confidence on us or before taking a bet on us, which I have not seen even the larger institutions do. So we take debt from all kinds of even the larger institutions are they doing in that detail, that thorough, and which was not only a theoretical due diligence, paper due diligence or this. It was a more realistic due diligence, both on the business, on the people, on the everything. And I guess because of this effort of yours initially, then you all come with more confidence that you all can take bigger bets again and again and larger bets. So yeah, so the experience has been fantastic.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Siddharth, for this webinar, for spending time with us. Looking forward to more such conversations in future.
Thank you, Sushantam.